Wow. I'm just jumping on here. Don't even know what I'm doing on this live on one hand. Don't know who's going to come in here, but it's going to be up here. So that's why I'm happy about that. I just want to talk to you about why you keep overthinking. My name is KK Harris. I'm an executive coach and a psychologist. I do this every day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. I help professionals perform better at work. And today's session, I'm going live. Today's session is why do I keep overthinking? Why do I keep overthinking? Overthinking is something that people will find themselves doing all the time when it comes to their job, and especially if you are a professional in the corporate space. That's my sweet spot. But anything in terms of work, quite often you may be moving up in an organization and you find that you have more and more pressure. And the more pressure you have, the more you tend to overthink. You overthink about things like, will they know I'm not sure about myself? Do they know that I am new at this thing? You might be thinking about, if I make this decision, will it look like I'm not that smart? Or if I take this course, I should say, or this program, will people think you're at this level? Why are you taking something that's at this level? You start to overthink it. But why do you overthink it? Well, you're training your brain. You're training your brain to believe that this is the thing that you should be focused on. And this is a little bit of neuroscience for you. That is your reticular activating system saying focus over here. It filters out the information that you want to make real prevalent. You want it to be the thing that you focus on, you see? So the reticular activating system will then stay with that information. You're overthinking, you're using your brain to overthink, and it's supporting you in that overthinking. But I am here to say that you can control your thinking. You can stop that overthinking by acknowledging it. Now listen, I have clients, what they tend to do is they say, well, what happens when you're overthinking? They say, well, then I say, no, I'm not going to think about this. I'm just going to squash it down. Well, that's no good, because what you're doing is, and hello, welcome to my space. My name is KK Harris, executive coach. And thank you for the heart. I really appreciate it. Let's see if I can get some hearts coming out of here on my iOS device. Don't know, whatever, but hearts to you. So that overthinking, why are you overthinking? Well, the brain is you're using your brain, the reticular activating system, to lock in on that thing. It filters out and it says, okay, you're focusing in on that. Well, we're going to hold that focus for you. And so then we're going to seek more of it. So we're going to notice more of the same thing that you're overthinking about. Then here comes the confirmation bias. When you notice more, when you know, how do we stop it? Hey, leprosy, how do you stop the overthinking? I'm going to get to that right at this moment. When the overthinking comes in, this is how you stop it. You acknowledge what it is you're thinking about. A lot of people bury it. Don't bury it, because then you'll keep thinking about it more and more. Okay? So when it comes in, it's like saying, oh, I see you in the room. I see you in the room. The overthinking has the attachment of worry to it, doesn't it? Of course, overthinking makes you start to worry. If you're overthinking, you're probably staying up in the night and it's bothering you. You must acknowledge that you're overthinking, acknowledge what that issue is. And then once you have what that issue is, and then you start to question that issue. Yes, it does. Constant ruminating. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, so what you do is you stop it, then you start to acknowledge, and then you start to question, why am I overthinking about this? What is important in this thing that's causing me to overthink? If you don't ask the questions, that overthinking continues. Then once you're questioning it, you start to go deeper into the questioning. So say the overthinking is, I'm really worried about this presentation I'm going to do at work, or I have to speak to my boss about me wanting a raise, right? Well, that's a valid thing to be thinking about, but then you must sit down and you must begin to write it out. So you acknowledge it one, and then two, you begin to write down those thoughts. And if they're fear-based thoughts, you want to question, well, what if they say no? Say you're trying to get a raise, and then your thought is, what if they say no? Well, what if they say no? What are you going to do then? Are you going to try to negotiate? If they say no to a 10% raise, why don't you go for a 7% or an 8%, right? It's not over till it's over. But you must get your plan together by writing it out. What if this, then what? Right? If the ruminating comes when you just stay in that thought, that overthinking, that's why the rumination continues, because you're not then questioning it. You're not acknowledging it in the room. You know, I said to my client, you're doing it all wrong. Then what happened is she had a breakdown. It was why? Because you never questioned the thought. She was just trying to push the thought away. I'm not going to think about this right now. I'm not going to think about this right now. But you're constantly thinking about it because you're never dealing with it. You're never questioning it. You're never writing it down. You know? So if you thought, well, what if I say something in meetings and I sound stupid? Well, what if? See, the sounding stupid and the question, you are lacking some knowledge. And that's all it is. And you're asking a question to get the knowledge, right? So that's it. So you have to ask, well, what if I sound stupid? Well, do you know? Do you have that answer to that question? If you don't have the answer to that question, you wouldn't be asking it. Doesn't figuring it make it worse though? Yes. Fighting it does make it absolutely worse, Josiah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking that question. Yes, if you fight it, and that's what I'm talking about, Josiah. I'm talking about when we push it down. See, the overthinking, you're not using any action. You're not taking any action to stop the overthinking, right? Give me a thumbs up. Somebody, I haven't even asked for a thumbs up. I'm supposed to ask for thumbs up. I didn't even put a title on this, you guys. I was just like, okay, go live. We'll figure out how to do this later. But ask yourself, in that overthinking zone. Oh, thank you. Ask yourself, why am I overthinking? What am I overthinking about? You know, can I do anything about this? Sometimes we can't do anything about the issue that we're thinking about. That's just a fact. Sometimes it's out of our control. So what do we do in those instances? When we are in those instances, we ask a few different questions. One, what is in my control? Two, what can I influence? And three, what's outside of my control, right? If you got to know the answer. You got to ask yourself. And I'm telling you, that will help you settle and stop overthinking. Ask the questions. Ask the questions of yourself. Get into your own mind. Because I'm telling you, when you use this beautiful brain that you've been blessed to have, it's still fully functioning. Even if it's not fully functioning and it's half functioning, that's okay. 16:8. Tell me what that's all about. Love a good old 16:8. But you see what I'm saying, right? Ask yourself questions. Thoughts are not real is what people say a lot. I tend to overthink. Well, thoughts are real. They're happening. Right? We're really having those thoughts, Tyrone. We really are. But it's the fear, I think, is what they're talking about. Maybe they're saying, you know, fear, false evidence appearing real, because we're just visualizing and we're imagining this thing that may happen or may not happen, or somebody may say something, they may not say something. I like to replace the what ifs to even ifs. Yes, yes, Ras, right? What if, then what? So if that happens, then what? What am I going to do? How am I going to show up? See, a lot of people are not asking themselves questions. They're not asking themselves questions. Please like this. Let's help build me up. I'm trying to get to 2,200 subscribers here. And I'm close to it. I think I'm maybe 5-6 people away from that. But, oh, thank you. I appreciate it, right? I'm going to come back to this, though. 16 hours of learning and improving myself. Amen. Just get some sleep. I see it like the battle zone. Yeah, get some sleep. But I will say this about that. Oh, I got 4. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs up. You know, the battle zone, it's one of the things. I'm like you. I will go in for 16 hours. Don't know if you're still here, but I will go in for 16 hours. And then I find myself overtired, right? Because I've been stimulating my brain for 16 hours. You're stimulating your brain for 16 hours. My thing is get up, get out and walk. My thing is eat, use some water. Please like and subscribe for life-changing content. You are a star. Love you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Auntie trying to build it. Auntie trying to build the space, okay? She's in with the knowledge I've gained, like you, Battle Zone. So get yourself some water. Get up on your feet. Get some activity going on in your mind. Question your mind. Don't just accept the overthinking as just the overthinking is replaying something that's on your mind that you are not looking at. See, the unconscious is at work here. The unconscious is pushing up, trying to become conscious, right? If you're staying in rumination, if you're staying in there, if you're staying in rumination, if you're focusing in on only the overthinking issue, the unconscious is there with you, but it's saying, please let me out. Please let me out. And then examine it and then question so we can move the heck on, right? That is what's happening. That's what's happening in this most simplified words here, right? What does that say? OCD. That is, I have friends with OCD. They constantly do that. And then what we do is we try to find ways that suit them to calm themselves down. When we're in those OCD states, and I'm going to keep it real, obsessive compulsive disorder, when we are in those obsessive compulsive disordered states, we are not fully conscious. We are not fully conscious. We are running on automatic pilot. Wash your hands a whole bunch of times. Wash your hands. Clean. Come back to presence. Come to presence, right? Come into here. Oh, what do I see? What do I smell? What am I looking at? Am I fully present? You can switch out of that OCD, right? I have ADD, ADHD. I will wring my hands quite a lot. I'm working through that because with the ADHD, with rubbing my hands all the time, self-soothing, they call it, I think, stimming, it's like, but it doesn't mean I'm fully present. I'm in a state. I'm in a shaky state, right? Stuck emotional moment, right? I like that, and it's like when I'm in that state, when I'm in that high state of like everything, I'm overthinking. Any advice for dealing with spoiled spoiled 18-year-olds. I don't have my glasses on. Spoiled 18 years old with no gratitude. My daughter's 21. Been there, but she wasn't actually that bad, but they just go through that. They go through that, have an understanding that they're going to be 21, set those boundaries up, suggest that they get a job, and so they start to understand what they have, what the real world is like. Even a part-time job, even 10 hours a week makes a difference when they have to spend their own money on buying their games, buying their phones, buying those different things. Oh my God, look, I gotta go to a meeting. I just turned it on. If you'd like to see more of this, please just follow me. I'm just gonna start going live kind of between sessions and stuff. I'm an executive coach every day, by night. But today has been about overthinking and how we can get through it And I'm going to tell you again, just before I head off here, the overthinking killing machine. It doesn't have to be the way. Jesus is there for you. If he's there for you, I'm happy for you. That's not everybody's thing, but that's all right. That's all right. And I love it for you. I love it for me. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for just showing me some love. We have Battle Zone up in here too. Some others, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep coming back, okay? So I'll make sure that I come back, put titles, learn how to do these lives so I can really continue to add value. Overthinking. Acknowledge the thought, the overthought in the room. What are you thinking? Question it. Question it. If this, then what? I am based... My IP might show that I'm in the UK. I've lived in the UK for 31 years. Now I'm in Texas for the last year. So sometimes my accent goes in and out, my darling. But I am an American. I'm an American Brit. And so you might hear that. And where you based, Battle Zone, please do. I will keep coming back, Tyrone. I appreciate you. And I'll try to come around this time. I might have clients, so I might not always be here at this time. But do follow me to subscribe. And we're going to get into the mind, the neuroscience behind what you're really going through. There's a lot of people that will tell you, oh, this, but they're not giving solutions. My point of being here is to get, oh, Georgia, a sister over there. My point here is to be able to give you solutions so you can move forward in life and not just keep hearing the same old tired things. You know, I was guilty of it, just calling out narcissism, just calling out toxic bosses and stuff. No. It's all about solutions, and we're going to work with our brain to be effective. I got to go. Mwah. Love you. God bless you all. Take care. Let's see how we turn this thing off. I tell you, okay. Let's see. I think we just hit X. Yes.